Good morning, Raptor Weeks. Lexiot's here, and it's Tuesday morning, and we're playing a game tonight against Portland. It's the first game of 5-game homestand, and this one I want them to win. Yeah, I know Portland started strong after the weird beginning of the season they had. Their coach got fired in a gambling scandal. The NBA champion of the Detroit Pistons, Chauncey Billups, just all of a sudden got yanked right before the season, and it seemed like that would really mess up the Trailblazers for the season. But they put Tiago Splitter, former San Antonio Spur, in as the replacement, and they did really good at the beginning of the season. The Trailblazers were one of the top Western teams for like the first 10 games of the season, but alas, they've lost a lot in their second 10 games. So, yeah, the Trailblazers come to town, the only team in the league that has beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm still not feeling totally well, so if I'm a little sniffly, I apologize. All right, well, let's get right into it. I'll go over the latest lineup news, basically who the Trailblazers are this year, and the ref check. And also, we had a 9:05 game last night, and the Raptors 9:05 are perfect 8-0, still undefeated in their tip-off tournament season so far. And they keep going like this, they're going to be in the tip-off tournament, just like the Raptors are in the in-season tournament. So yeah, both teams getting involved in these early season tournaments. It's fantastic. It's really cool. Makes the games even more fun. All right, let's go look at Portland real quick. All right, they do have quite a few injuries. Of course, Dame Lillard returned to Portland this year after a 2-year weird detour in Milwaukee. He is back on Portland, but he's not going to play this year, and he's basically kind of just back in ceremonially and like symbolically in some ways right now. But he should be healthy at some point, hopefully again, and he will be back for the Trailblazers, where he should have never left. Honestly, he kind of screwed up that whole thing where you play for one team your whole entire career. He listened to the noise too much. You got to chase a ring, Dame. You got to do this. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing easy and quick in this league. And even if it sounds good to team up with the Greek Freak in Milwaukee and try and chase rings, it's sometimes way harder than that. Just that. And the funny thing is, the guy he got traded for, Drew Holiday, is on the team with him in Portland right now. But unfortunately, he is out. He will not be playing tonight. That's not unfortunate for the Raptors. A talent like Drew Holiday is such a great defensive player and also just a great winner. He's just a winner. I have a lot of respect for Drew Holiday. And, he's out. Thank goodness for the Raps. Blake Wesley is also out tonight. He has underwent a successful procedure to repair a fracture in the 5th metatarsal base in his right foot. And that happened at the beginning of November. And, he's expected to be out for 8 to 12 weeks. So he shouldn't be back till some point around Christmas, I'm guessing. Scoot Henderson is out right now. Also, the highly touted 3rd pick in the draft after Victor, he has a hamstring issue, and he has been out for about a week right now. He'll probably be out for another 3 weeks, possibly. They're missing their rookie center from last year, Donovan Clingan. Clingan was their big pick last year, and he's questionable, actually. He is sick right now. He has an illness. And we'll see if Donovan's in the lineup for against the Raptors tonight. But right now, he missed the last game, and there's no telling whether he's well yet to be able to play tonight. And then the last person on the list for Portland is Matisse Thybulle, the very annoying veteran, is out due to a thumb injury. He will not be playing tonight for sure. So Clingan is the one who's questionable, who could possibly play, but the rest of all those guys I named will definitely not be showing up tonight, and that's a lot of star power. It's a lot of star power right there with Drew Holiday, Dame Lillard, Scoot Henderson. Anyway, I'll keep going. Who are the Trailblazers then? Who is healthy? Who will we see them play tonight? Well, it's very likely that we'll see Chris Murray, the twin of Keegan Murray, on the Trailblazers, will be starting probably in the place of Drew Holiday. Shaden Sharp, the great Canadian leaper and Canadian player for Team Canada, is playing tonight. Tumani Kamara, a young player who's come up in the last couple of years, is very talented. We have to watch out for him. Demi Avija, of course, he will be there and playing. And then probably coming in to start for Klingon, if he's not starting, is Robert Williams III. We were talking about him the other day. He is healthy, so we should see Robert Williams tonight. Very active big who can rebound a lot and block shots. So we need to watch out for Robert Williams. Off the bench, they got people like Sidi Sissoko, who's a forward. Jeremy Grant, who used to be on the Pistons. Remember him? He's still around. Caleb Love, I guess he's a rookie. He's a backup guard. Duop Reith, who was a rookie last year. Big man, backup center. Duop. Also, Rayon Rupert, who is a recent draft pick. And Young Hansen. That's right. Young will be in the Scotiabank Arena tonight. So I'm sure he's going to have fans there coming to the game. He's a very popular player, apparently. The rookie Hansen. His jersey sales are off the charts in China. And so he's a very, very popular guy. We should see quite a few people come into the game tonight for him in Toronto. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's their lineup. Yeah, they've got a lot of young talent. They've got a lot of young talent. They're a dangerous team. But, hopefully Darko's got a really cool game plan and the Raptors are sick of losing. And they'll go out there and execute and they'll beat them. They'll beat them. That's all right there. Brandon Ingram has a great game and makes points. And Quickly and Scotty played fantastic. And, well, we beat them. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do, right? Yeah, talking about their schedule again. Yeah, the Trailblazers are 8-12 currently right now. And like I said, they started the season really well. They were like 6-3 to start the season. But in the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the last 12 games, they're 3-9. They're 3-9 in the last 12 games after starting 6-3. So it's been quite a change and a switch for them. I don't know why that happened because it seemed like they had tough games at the beginning of the year. They started losing. And it seems like when they started playing Eastern teams, they started losing. Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that's a good sign. All right, 7:30 is the tip-off. Let's go look at our side of things. Well, RJ's the only one listed. And like I said, I think we'll hear about him tomorrow or Thursday. And we'll get a definitive, more concrete timeline for Mr. Barrett. And we're all hoping he'll be ready by the 9th. That's really the time I want him to be ready for. If the guys can, the training staff and Dr. McKechnie can land RJ Barrett's health and ability to play for the Raptors by the time we play that knockout round against the Knicks on the 9th, that would be fantastic. If you guys could do this, I found out we thought that this contract work that I'm having done that makes me have to stay in this hotel right now was going to go extended into next week, but the contractor kicked some butt, and now he's going to get it done on time this week on Friday is what he's saying now. That's what we want with RJ's injury. We want it to get done on time so he can play against the Knicks on the 9th. So RJ, get better, please. Please get better. Well, I wonder who they'll start tonight. Yak will be back, so we only really need to replace one starter. Is it going to be Jacoby just again coming in, or maybe they'll give Grady a chance tonight? Start Grady, start Oshai. Honestly, if you're going on a reward system, Darko, from the last game, you should either start Colin or Oshai because of the way they played in that game in Madison Square Garden. They were very admirable, both of them. So I would say if you started Quickly, Oshai, Scotty, Brandon, and Yak, that would be a nice lineup. Either that or Colin Murray Boyles. Why not? And just bump Scott into the shooting guard position and put Colin at the power forward with Brandon at the small forward. Yeah, you could do that. You could even flip it where Scotty's the point guard tonight. He started at center last game. Let's just have some fun, Darko. There's 2 games, and within 2 games, Scotty starts at 5 and plays against Cat. And then in this game, Scotty starts at 1 and Manuel gets to play 2. And Scotty gets Jacoby and Grady and Oshai to start hitting shots. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, who's their point guard on the other side? I mean, they're all their guys are hurt and they're playing big guys at point guard. So this might work. This might work. I don't know. Just speculating on the starting lineup for the Raptors with RJ Barrett out. Let's go look at the referees. In the replay center tonight, we got Brandon Adair, Jonathan Sterling, and Tyler Ford. And for the referees, well, we got one ref that we had already this year, and then two refs we're seeing for the first time. Actually, one of the refs we saw a couple times in preseason. So we have seen him a couple times already, but not officially. James Capers Jr. is the crew chief tonight in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena, number 19 in his 31st season. Of course, his father was James Capers Sr., who refereed in the NBA also. He's from Chicago, Illinois. His favorite movie is Malcolm X. His favorite musician is Jill Scott. His favorite book is The Greatest, My Own Story, the Muhammad Ali autobiography. His favorite meal is a lobster roll from Martha's Vineyard. His favorite app is Pandora. He'd like to attend Wimbledon, and his hidden talent is bid whist. There you go. James Capers has officiated 1,634 regular season games in 30 seasons as an NBA staff official. He has also worked 204 playoff games, including 17 NBA Finals games. So, yeah, he's a top ref in the league. He's reffed a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's the worst ref for the Raptors tonight. He is in the red zone. He is down in the land between Scott Foster and Ed Malloy. We win 44% of our games in the history of James Capers, 30 years. With the 30 years of the Raptors, I mean, we're lining up just in sync with him. His first year refereeing was the first year of the Raptors, guys. And he has reffed in the NBA every single year the Raptors have existed. And his percentage for that whole 30 years is 44%. The Raptors' winning percentage as a franchise over that time is 47%. So James Capers Jr. has definitely made the Raptors lose more than they win. Or not made them, but been around the Raptors losing more than them winning. Now, the other side of things, the Trailblazers have done better under him than the last 30 years. They've won 46% of their games. So it's 44 to 46 for the Trailblazers with the crew chief, James Capers. The second ref is number 77. And you know why his number is 77? Because he loves Star Wars. And Star Wars came out the year of 1977. Carl Lane is out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He is in his 15th season, and he is a huge Star Wars nerd. And I respect that about him. I like Carl Lane. He's a good ref. His favorite TV show is Game of Thrones. He likes the Star Wars movies. His favorite artist is Jay-Z. His favorite book is Star Wars books. His favorite meal is Mexican. He plays Candy Crush. He'd most like to visit Rome, Italy. His bucket list is to see the 7 wonders of the world. I think there's some 7 wonders in Rome, so you can mark some off, right? And his hidden talent is home repair. Okay, so this guy can be doing some home repairs. Maybe he should be at my house helping them. Anyway, Carl Lane has officiated 810 regular season games and 22 playoff games in 14 seasons as an NBA staff official. Carl has not reffed a game for us this year yet. But he is he is statistically one of the best refs today. Actually, he's not better than the third one, but he is pretty good. We win 55% of our games when Carl Lane is present, and the Blazers win 48% of their games. So 55 to 48 for the Raptors with the Star Wars super nerd fan, Carl Lane. We love you, Carl, and we love Star Wars too. So, yeah, that's awesome. The third ref is going to be Danielle Scott tonight, guys. Danielle did ref a game for us already this year, and we won it. She is number 87 in her 5th season out of Woodland Hills, California. Her favorite TV show is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She also likes the movie Love and Basketball. Her favorite book is Think Like a Monk. Her favorite meal is chicken tikka masala. She likes Pinterest. She wants to visit Iceland. Her bucket list is to learn sign language. And her hidden talent is photography. Danielle Scott worked the Rising Stars competition and All-Star Saturday night events at NBA All-Star 2025 in San Francisco this year. Yeah, Danielle is the junior ref and the third ref tonight, and she has the best percentage with us. As I said, we won our first game with her reffing this year. So her ref, she hasn't reffed us a whole lot. We've had 10 games where she's reffed us. And, well, out of the 10 games, we've won 6 of them. So it's a 60% win percentage with Danielle Scott from the last game that we won. 6-4 is our record with her. And meanwhile, the Blazers are really dismal with her 21% winning with Danielle Scott, one of the worst teams on her spreadsheet. 60-21 is the split with the third ref, Danielle Scott. And it's cool. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's the refs. That's not that bad. James Capers can be a little funky, but he's been pretty fair to us the last 2 years. But in the past, holy crap, he can turn on us and be very unfair to us. But the other two refs are solid. The other two refs are very solid. So we'll see just how it goes down against the Blazers tonight. James Capers Jr., be nice. Be nice. You know, we like you, man. You're cool. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat today. Sorry about my phone not working yesterday. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow when we do a reaction stream and you guys can call in and talk on the air. But yeah, it's hotel room's crazy, man. It doesn't have very good reception. In fact, I'm a little worried about my internet connection this morning because it's not showing all the bars right now. So yeah, Trevor J's in with his words of wisdom. Good morning to the Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Everything happens for a reason. That reason causes change sometimes. The change hurts sometimes. The change is hard, but in the end, it's all for the best. You know, change is inevitable, and unfortunately, change is coming. You can either try and work with it, surf that wave like on a surfboard, or you can get dragged along with it from behind in very painful ways. That's the thing. It's scary in some ways. Like I want change that's good for the whole of humanity. I don't want change that's only good for a handful of billionaires. I don't think that's the right planning for humanity and society and the majority of people. And I think that this is probably one of the most pressing issues going forward right now is what are we doing with society and civilization and the systems that we live under? Are they to benefit just a very small percentage of the population to the detriment of most of the population? That's what we have to figure out, y'all. Civics and politics are going to have to change. And there may be an extreme overhaul of major systems in this world because some people have been greedy and have taken advantage of the system that's in place. And the system that is in place is broken. And well, change is going to come. Let's just say that. Let's just say that one way or another, it's going to come. And well, if people aren't happy and people are very, very pissed off, they will make the change themselves. Power of the people. That's what I say. Trevor J., thank you for the words of wisdom. I appreciate you every single morning helping me with this show. Trevor's saying this, happy game day. Let's get back to winning tonight. That's right. Back in the friendly confines of the hangar. They called it the hangar for a while, Air Canada Center. That's right. That's what I used to call it. That's what, in some ways, I still kind of like want to do that. You know, it's like how people call the Rogers Center Skydome. It's just, it shows you're a senior or a mature person. Air Canada Center, you mean, right? Yeah. No, it's called Scotiabank Arena, my guy. They paid millions of dollars to make it that. Oh, really? Air Canada Center sounded cooler. Yeah, it did. It did. Although Matt Devlin's saying it, the bank, calling it the bank over and over again. It's kind of cool too. Let's see. Trevor J saying 905 still on fire. 8-0. Yeah, 8-0. Perfect record for the Raptors 905. And the thing about the Raptors 905 is that they are the best team in the G League. That's right. They're the best team in the G League right now. The only undefeated team, only badass team out there. And well, they won again last night against Long Island Nets. Let's talk about the game real quick. Yeah, it was a weird one. You know, they were losing a lot at the beginning, a little bit behind, and then they just jumped out to a huge lead and were killing the Long Island Nets and up by 20, really, really beat their butt. And then the fourth quarter, the Long Island Nets rallied and came back and tied it up and made it really tense at the end of the game. Alas, Andrew Jones and his team executed properly and they got the dub, even though the game became close in the last few minutes after they really had routed them in the second half. It was weird. It was really weird. Then Long Island Nets, good kudos to y'all trying to come back. Let's just say that. But the one thing I learned from last night is Elijah Martin is serious about getting out of G League. I'm going to say that right now. This is the third game in a row where Elijah is my number one star of the game because he was absolutely the best star, best player For the 905, these last 3 games, in 37 minutes last night, Elijah got 30 points on 11 of 15 shooting. Fantastic shooting. He was on fire. 2 of 5 from 3, 5 of 6 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds for him. Fantastic. 3 assists with 4 turnovers, a plus 12. Yeah, Elijah, fantastic shooting. 11 of 15 for 30 points. And in some ways, he's classing himself over G League talent and saying, you know what? Maybe I am better than this league, but he may be in a weird in between. I don't know. We'll have to see how he looks on the main league, because it's a totally different speed and size and everything. You can ask Chucky. He got his taste of it on Sunday, Elijah. But yeah, man, 3 games in a row, number 1 star in the last 3 games for the 905, according to me. And the second star is the same once again in the last 3 games also. It's like a 1-2 combo of Martin and Mobo. Mobo has been flourishing in the last couple games. Everybody's been asking, why is Jonathan Mobo playing on G League? We're wasting him away down there. No, we're not. No, we are not, because he is getting very valuable time on 905, and he's putting in good stats, y'all. Jonathan last night, 33 minutes, 21 points on 8 of 12 shooting. 8 of 12 shooting for Jonathan. Not a lot of missed bunnies. Very good at converting last night. He hit his only 3-point attempt. He made both of his free throws. 11 rebounds also, so it was a double-double, 21 points, 11 rebounds for Jonathan. 1 assist with 3 turnovers, 1 steal, and 1 block, a plus 22 for J-Mo. And that's the thing, he stat stuffed, even though his turnovers were higher than his assists, just like Elijah. But yeah, he got a steal and a block. He's doing a little bit of Scotty impression down there. I'm telling you right now, guys. Jonathan is 905's Scotty. My third star for last night is Chucky. Chucky got to start, got to play in the Raptors game in New York on Sunday, and well, he saw it was really hard, but he came back and he played and got a double-double himself in the game last night. 35 minutes for Chucky Hepburn, 18 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 50%. 2 of 3 from 3, 5 of 6 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 11 assists with 3 turnovers. So he was 18 points, 11 assists, with 2 steals and a block, a plus 22 for Chucky. Yeah, he's really solid. And near the end of the game, especially, he was kind of taking over the game in the last couple minutes to make sure that we got the scores when we needed to, getting a foul here, hitting a 3 here. So yeah, Chucky was clutch last night and closing the game to help Andrew Jones's team win. Yeah, 4th star of the game for the 905's victory last night. I got to give it to the French guy. You know, he's been annoying the hell out of me. I don't think he's a good player. I think that he misses bunnies. I think that he messes up on defensive assignments. I think he fouls people stupidly. I think he makes all kinds of mistakes all the time, but he has such potential. There's so many things he could be doing if he just was a little bit higher with his basketball IQ. Yeah, Olivier, 25 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. I like the 3-pointers. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, a plus 20. Yeah, it's solid. Solid game by Olivier Sarr, and he's a factor. I mean, you know, last year with the 905, when Shamshay went out, they had no defensive big at all, and they just got 8 for lunch. Well, at least Sarr is somewhat a deterrent at the center. And, you know, I'm happy he's on this team. But, man, he is frustrating. Let's just say that. He is frustrating. As much as there's measures of success and good things he's doing, there's definitely stuff that you're just like, why? Why? All right, my last star for the 905 game last night is going to be David Roddy. David Roddy got the start in the place of A.J. Lawson, who was out last night, guys. He was illness. That was AJ's missing reason. And Roddy, 30 minutes, 12 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Made both his free throws, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, a plus 14. Yeah, Roddy is solid in the starting lineup. And yeah, contributing. He's a big veteran presence. Big. I put the emphasis on big. Yeah, Quincy Guerrier made his debut for 905 last night. Finally healthy to play. And he got in there for 10 minutes, made a basket. Well, actually, he didn't make a basket. He made a free throw that counted for 2. and missed the only shot he took. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, a minus 15 for Quincy. Yeah, the bench were the ones who were kind of lagging and losing the game back towards Long Island. It was the starters who were carrying and doing all the winning. Tyson Degenhart off the bench, 17 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 4 from the field. Missed his only three rebounds, 2 assists, 0 turnovers, a minus 14. Juju Reese got out there for 15 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 3 shooting, made his only free throw, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers and a block, minus 15. And Tyreek Key, 18 minutes, 8 points, 2 for 7, missed all 4 of his threes, hit all 3 of his free throws, though. 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, and an even plus minus. And Jarkel Joyner finally, 19 minutes, 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting. Very good. Hit his only 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, minus 11 for Jarkel. Yeah, and they didn't put in Bediako or Hogart on this game. And McCaw's ill also, apparently. Patrick McCaw is sick right now also. On the other side, we'll give some shine to Nate Williams, who was just their best player. 30 points for him, 12 of 20 from the field with 6 rebounds and 2 assists and 3 steals. Yeah, not a bad win. They did a good job, even though, like I said, they kind of made it scary at the end for a little while there. Some people were a little bit like, oh, great, because they separated right after halftime. Started really well. Monique was in the chat marveling at the 905's fantastic start after halftime in the third quarter. Alas, in the fourth, they coughed it all up, and the Long Island Nets gave them a scare. Either way, we won, and that's what matters. Doing the team stats real quick. The 905 shot 58% last night to 49% for the Nets. They did get way less shots than them, but they were more effective at hitting them. 10 threes were made to 17 for the other side. The free throws were really good. The 905 had 21 free throws, and they only missed 2 for 90%. And they did get to the line way, way more than the Long Island Nets. So they were way more aggressive there. They got less shot attempts, but they got the line a lot. Rebounds, they almost doubled them, 42 to 27 for the 905. And the assist to turnover ratios were kind of ugly. I'll tell you that. The 905 actually had more turnovers than assists last night. 21 assists to 23 turnovers. And meanwhile, the other side, 28 assists for the Nets and 16 turnovers. So they did better at that one. But it didn't matter. We still won by 7. Let's see. Fast break points, they beat us, but we won the points in the paint by 8. So, yeah, just to look at the team stats. Fantastic job, Andrew Jones. You guys are undefeated and 8-0, and I love it. That's fantastic, man. Yeah, let's see. HC's in the house. HC, the only undefeated team in our fantasy league. He's been doing fantastic. Of course, I'm going to go look at the fantasy real quick. This week, we've got matchups like this. We got James against Andrew, and he's got the lead so far. HC has a huge lead over Ahmed already in his matchup this week. We see a very close game between Meredith and Mike. Kaz is playing Nins, and he's got a close game going there too. Amari is beating Jason Dukes right now. Fiercey against Kareem. This is a game that's somebody's going to get a win there, and it looks like Fiercey's ahead right now. A very even game between Bryce and Gerald right now, and I am beating Cool Cat in my matchup this week so far. So if you have a Yahoo Fantasy team in our Raptor Freak Fantasy Basketball League, please set it up and get your rosters filled so that you can collect the stats and do the best that you can and trying to win. Rise and shine, y'all. Raps need to get back into win mode. That's right. This is the NBA. 82 games. A new slate comes every couple days. And, well, the new slate is coming in today. And, yeah, it's the Blazers. The one trip they make to come to Toronto tonight. Let's make it one where they take an L. That's what I say right there. Yeah, James is here. Good to see James. Shaden best in game dunker right now. Well, if John Moran ain't playing, sure, I'll say that. You know, that's the one thing. I mean, I know I dissed John Morant, but I will say he's the best dunker in the league. But, you know, what does that get you? Does that get winning? No, it just gets you highlights. But, yeah, Shaden Sharp is a badass, and I would definitely put him in the top 3 for sure. I want to see these guys get in the dunk competition. I mean, seriously, what are we wasting our lives not seeing Shaden Sharp and these guys in the dunk competition? Sharp's done the dunk competition, hasn't he? I feel like he has. I don't remember. You know who should also do the dunk competition, but probably won't get any respect or asked to do it, even though Mac McClung got to do it a bunch of times, is Elijah Martin. Elijah Martin is a fantastic, electrifying dunker for his height. He could win the dunk competition. I'm telling you right now, Elijah could win it, but will he even be invited or even considered? Probably not. Now, is he invited to the dunk competition for the G League? He should go do that. And because I think Mac did the same thing, and that's kind of how he got the attention. Elijah, take every thing that they ask you, even if you're like, nah, I'm above that. I can't do that. No, man, it's exposure. And if you do it and you do really well, you may get something from it. So don't say no if they ask you to come do the dunk competition for G League or something like that. They have that, right? I want to say they have a dunk competition for G League. I think they used to. I don't know. Maybe they don't at this point. I don't know. Fiercey's here. Good morning to MJ. Hope she's doing really well in the Ottawa Gatineau region of Canada. Good morning, fam, and happy game day. We need to get back at the Blazers. Demon with a boxing glove. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's right, because this is the thing. Fiercey's keeping receipts. There's been games against Portland in the last year that have been games we lost that we shouldn't have, and we're pissed about. There was one game where they beat us, and I'm like, wait, wait. And we've said this. We owe Portland Trailblazers some. So they're on our list right now for like get back. Yeah, Fiercey remembers. I like this. She's like an elephant. She never forgets. It's like, yeah, okay. She's right. We do owe them something. I remember it now. I'm glad you reminded me. Okay. Yeah, Scotty, you remember the last couple times we played the Blazers? Yeah. Feed that fire and go beat their ass tonight. That's right. Seymour is in the house. Seymour holding it down for us in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Lance Storm. That's right. Tonight will not be easy. Portland is balling out as if the CIA and FBI is watching from the sideline. Let's get that win, Raptors. They might be, honestly. Chauncey got in a lot of trouble. I'm telling you. Yeah, they might be the aftermath. They're just making sure if there's any accomplices. In some ways, I don't want the FBI or the CIA up here in Canada. I really don't. I don't think that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, we don't want to take anybody lightly. The West, we haven't seen a whole lot yet. And in some ways, we want to start our Western Conference record better than we did at the beginning of the season with the losses to the Texas teams. So yeah, we want to start making our Western record way better. Well, here's a Western team. Let's beat them and get a win notched on that record. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah, I'm not going to take anybody lightly for the rest of the year. We lost to Charlotte in some bullshit on Saturday night. That's what I'll say. Yeah, Seymour saying this: box out, rebound, box out, rebound. Yeah, play defense, close out, put those arms up. There's a lot of stuff we do. We can get a successful formula. That's right. KT's in the house, our dunk champion, the one of the craziest guys I know. That's right. We need to start this homestand off right. That's right. Let's get this W and beat the Blazers in a wire-to-wire win. I like that. If we could order it up and get it served right, like we're at a Greasy Spoon, if we're at a diner, like the Vesta Diner or Vesta, that place over a Bathurst. Yeah, we could get a victory with its wire-to-wire. That's fantastic. Order up, serve. Here's your order. Order wire win. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for ordering that up. Hopefully that's what you get for your meal. Hopefully it's prepared correctly and you're happy with your meal, because that's what I would like. Shaq Lindsay saying, good morning, freaks. Good morning to Shaq Lindsay and good morning to Reggie. Also, thanks, guys, for supporting this channel. I appreciate the members of this channel that support this channel. You guys are helping me a lot. I appreciate you. Reggie's saying that the Clippers lost again. They're 5-16. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. It's almost like, you know what? Maybe this world is going to work out all right. Maybe this is a sign that the criminals, the people doing the things wrong, are going to see justice one day. And I'm talking about Donald Trump and Steve Ballmer. And yeah, you did criminal things, Steve Ballmer. Well, your team's losing. It's just part of it. That's, in some ways, God's watching. Just like Santa with his list, naughty and nice. And you've been naughty. And in some ways, a 5-16 record is your lump of coal, motherfucker. Yeah, boom goes the dynamite, Lexus. Sometimes I surprise myself because that's funny, man. That's like a movie line. It's like, there's your lump of coal, motherfucker. Steve Ballmer. Oh! The way he screams and shit, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that's what I say, man. They get what they get. Jack Armstrong, you get what you get. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph Phillips in the chat. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. This day offers you the opportunity to make a positive mark and to help transform lives. Seize every moment and do all you can with what you have. In some ways, it's like, look, I like to disseminate information on this channel. And most of the time, I'm talking about Raptors, basketball, 905, tempo, Team Canada basketball, and stuff like that. But I do talk about global things. I do talk about life skills and how to live happier and maybe how to like deal with different things that come across in your life. There's a little bit of all that stuff. So one of the things I think I'm doing that's really important right now is continuing to say things like what I said earlier about how we don't want to have a future that just benefits a few people. We really got to be looking out for all of us. And that doesn't just mean humans. That means the animals, the trees, and the environment. And there's a really bad movement right now in the governments where the right-wing politicians are disregarding regulations like environmental protections, indigenous pacts, and all this kind of stuff. And they're ramrodding. It's all kinds of stuff. Mark Carney just did a deal with Danielle Smith this week that's absolutely reprehensible and is anti-human, anti-life. And you never, ever, ever want to see tankers off the coast of BC. That's not a good look for all kinds of reasons. And well, fossil fuel industry is just grasping at trying to get a stranglehold to hold things in the future because they know their ways are outdated and useless when the new stuff comes. They've been holding it back for so long. So yeah, in some ways, this is what I'll do. I'll inform, get out there and fight for all of us. And that means our environment and our earth, because we don't have another one. And if we destroy the earth by giving a whole bunch of money to fossil fuel companies and rich people, and everybody can't breathe, and we don't have clean water, and we destroy a lot of animals and trees just for short-term gain, it's like, what world are we passing down to the next generations? You think about your children, think about your grandchildren, think about your great-grandchildren. And well, these politicians that don't want to play by the rules, that are breaking rules left and right, and they're not following regulations, they need to be fired. They need to be voted out. And in some ways, some of them maybe need to be criminally prosecuted. So there, I'll do my part in information and talking about what's going on right now. And hopefully you can open your eyes and see that, it's symbolic with Doug Ford and Therme and Ontario Place. Nobody voted for him to do that. He just went and did it like a dictator. Nobody in the public wanted him to do this demolishing of Ontario Place to build a Therme spa. And he just did it. Is this a democracy? Is this where the people make the decisions for public lands, or just one crooked ass mobster named Doug Ford? And that's what we got to talk about right there. Blessings to Phyllis family and all the Raptor Freak families out there. I'm using my power to inform and tell y'all that some fucked up shit's happening. We need to fight the power. That's right, Flavor Flav. That's right. Smooth saying this. They are so bad, man. Kawhi destroyed that franchise. Impressive, actually. There you go. You get what you get, Steve Ballmer. You want Kawhi? Well, you get Uncle Dennis, too. And Smooth's getting a laugh, too. Smooth's getting a laugh from Seymour. You know what? Let's give Reggie a dunk for making people laugh right now about what he said. Good job, Kawhi. It's double agent Kawhi Leonard. You successfully got our guy, SGA, out of there, and you destroyed Steve Ballmer's team. Fantastic. Good job. Yeah, all right, let's give Smooth a dunk. He is sitting at 190 now. You're at the 190, my guy. We're in the last month of 2025, so get your dunk totals up to finish for the year now while you can. Don't try too hard. Sometimes if you try too hard, the dunk doesn't happen. It's a brick. Let's just put it that way. Smooth saying this. They don't own any first-round picks until 2030. Their pick this year conveys to Oklahoma City. Yeah, that's part of the thing. It's like Clippers fans are saying stuff like we're going to lose a lot, and we don't even have our pick at the end of the year. So they're just Yeah. And in some ways, like y'all do better because you're gonna help the Thunder the way y'all are so bad right now. You're gonna help the Thunder. It's crazy. Let's see. I know in the NBA though is they'll rig the lottery so that the Clippers won't have a very good pick, right? Right. That's what they do. They rig the lottery, right? Let's see. Seymour saying this. All I know, whoever gets Peterson from Kansas and Dabanasta from BYU or that stud from North Carolina. Yep, your future's bright. 7 to 9 years down the road, generational talents. Okay, I don't know any of those guys. I'll do my scout in January or February, and maybe I'll know who those guys are then. Because I don't know them. I don't watch college. I don't know who's coming. I've heard the Dibanasta guy's name before, but I don't know these other guys. Let's see. Seymour saying Clippers are cooked. Old team, and in some ways those guys have never been reliable. Bradley Beal's even checking out permanently for the rest of the year, which is hilarious to me. They brag so much in the offseason about unloading Norman to get all this other stuff. Well, Norman's healthy and he's kicking butt and looking like an all-star for Miami. What did all those people you got that you bragged about, Clippers Nation, and made fun of Norman for? You like said, this is how much Norman is worth, and look at all these players we got for him. How's that working out, Clippers Nation? Seriously. Yeah. Norman kicked your ass when he came back with the Heat. He kicked y'all's team's ass. And I'll bet that was very, very rewarding to him. He even said in an interview, he said, I don't care what's happening in the Clippers. I don't feel a bit sorry for them. I don't play for them. I don't have anything to do with them anymore. That's what he said. He said that in an interview. It's hilarious, man. You go on then, Norman. You're badass. All right, let's see. Contain Avija and Klingon. I don't know if Klingon's going to play. We'll have to see. If he is, he's a great matchup for Yak. And, well, we'll have to see what happens. But he is sick, like me. So he may not be playing tonight. We'll have to see. Let's see. Smooth saying this. Leonard with that stupid blank look on his face. Man, in some ways, like, I hate to say it, but Kawhi Leonard is a himbo. He's a himbo. Let's just put it that way. That's part of the reason why he's not really active in public. Because if he says too much on social media or in interviews, he might give away what we're talking about right here. Yeah. But he's a fantastic NBA player. He's a finals MVP for the Raptors, and he's a champion for the Raptors and the Spurs. So in some ways, it's like he's a man of accomplishment. You can't be everything, right? You can't be everything. So we say this. His act is so tired. People in LA are sick of him. He's been such a weird NBA player because if you think about it, he came in with the Spurs and won a championship almost right away in his career. And he was absolutely one of the best players. And wasn't he like, that was with Duncan and all those guys around him that he outshined them even as like a second-year player when they won, like when he was so young. And, being a Spur right off the bat, he's set up for success in his career. But somehow he managed to mutate the Spurs relationship to something really ugly with a really weird situation where he wouldn't play for them. He was hurt and all this kind of stuff. If you go that way with the Spurs, that is a really big red flag because that franchise is so healthy and really does things the right way. And most people honor and kind of respect the Spurs and the Popovich and Duncan and all those guys. But Kawhi didn't. So that was a big red flag. And that was a really big gamble by Masai and Bobby to get him here because he's so flaky. I mean, that summer after we traded DeRozan and Jakob to get Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, there was so much speculation whether Kawhi would even show up in Toronto. He's so flaky. So it's crazy. In some ways, this dude, besides the health issues and not being able to stay on the floor, there's other problems with him for sure. And we're lucky. We got the absolute best distilled year of his career in Toronto. And he had a dream season with us. And it was perfect in some ways. And you can't mess with that. In some ways, that's the bright side of Kawhi Leonard only playing 1 year for the Toronto Raptors. Is that it was like a perfect year. It's immaculate. And he didn't come back for a second year where he didn't win. He didn't come back for a second year where he was hurt for most of the season and sat on the bench and pissed us all off. He didn't get to that place where he could make us jaded and not really liking him like he did with the Spurs and now the Clippers. Yeah. So in some ways, I think we got the best of it, even if it was only 1 year. And we can be like, what coulda, shoulda, what would have happened? if he had came back for the second year. And hey, what would happen if there was no COVID pandemic? Those kind of things, man. Seymour saying this: Kawhi, PG-13, and Westbrook. Oh my God, we dodged huge bullet. Thank you, Masai. Yeah, that's just not good team building. That's the kind of team building that these kids that just love names would do. That's why like people say, well, John Morant. What do you mean no John Morant on the Raptors? Let's use our heads. Let's think about this. It's like people just see the name and they're like, oh, we got to get him. If he's available, what do you mean? We want anybody on the Raptors that's a problem, but is really good talent and stuff like that. No, we don't. We don't want Zion. We don't want John Morant. We don't want Ben Simmons. All these people that people would say, the Raptors should give this person. I'm like, no, because you see it and what we're talking about with this and that right there. That's it right there. That's right. That's right. Yeah, let's see. Seymour saying, I'm taking Shaden over Ja any day. I'm sick of Ja. So overrated because he can jump. Whoop-de-doo! He can jump. Whoop-de-doo! That's what the noise they should make when he goes up in the air, too. Seymour, like, John Morant takes flight and goes, whoop-de-doo! You don't stay in games because you're too busy messing up your life and you're hurt and you miss too much. Whoop-de-doo! You can dunk. That's hilarious. Let's see. Fiercely saying this. Hang on. Yeah, more water breaks are necessary right now. Fiercely saying this. Thanks to Masai, he helped Bomber build a contending and winning team, just not his. The thing, yeah, the Thunder, it's the Thunder's team, yeah. It's crazy because I bet Steve Ballmer had this big plan to build this Intuit Dome. He was really into it dome, and he really wanted to coincide a fantastic Clippers team that's top of the league in the Western Conference with the grand opening of his bathroom mecca. But unfortunately, the team build and what was happening with the team is not jiving with what he wanted to make the building so cool. They're going to do all the All-Star there this year. And, they shouldn't have an All-Star. The Clippers, they shouldn't this year because they suck. We see somebody get on the All-Star team from the Clippers. That's some bullshit, like James Harden being on the team last year. That's what I'll say that right there. Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's see. Fiercey saying this. Lex, update on Fiercey Jr. The team she plays in won yesterday and have a 3-1 record so far. Fantastic. 75%. Team she coaches has 0-4 record, but that was predicted as the players had no previous experience. Well, she's got to start somewhere. And, well, sometimes from the bottom's the best place to start because the worst. And you know what? When that first win comes, it's going to feel real good. But yeah, in some ways, it's like that's the learning experience, whether it's for the players she's coaching or for her coaching the players. That's fantastic. Excuse me. Keep me updated on Fiercey Jr.'s basketball exploits always. I appreciate this update, and I'm going to give you a dunk for giving me the update on Fiercey Jr. So let's see. Where's Fiercey Salsera? On the dunk charts, she is at 139. 139 for the year right there. All right, moving forward. Let's see. She's also saying that gave her a Darko analogy and motivated her to build them from scratch, teaching handles, layups, and shooting. The girls really enjoy her and friends coaching and have their spirits up despite the losses. Well, that's the thing right there. As long as you keep them on a level head and just kind of teach them, in some ways, some of them have never played. They don't know anything other than losing so far. Well, when they learn winning, that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. That'll be really, really fun. Salute the Fiercey Jr. That's right, Seymour. That's right. Stargate's in the house. Good morning, Stargate. Randolph saying, sending birthday blessings to all the December born. May the eternal God shower you with good health, happiness, peace, joy, and prosperity. Celebrate in a memorable way. There you go. Yeah. The December birthdays are sad sometimes because it's so close to Christmas. And I know that people that have their birthdays near Christmas kind of feel ripped off. But I mean, what is that? That's a materialistic attitude in some ways, I guess. Man, this year I'm really going anti-corporate. Y'all do not buy anything from big companies. Buy small things from small companies and support local. And, sometimes the best gifts are things that you create yourself, like maybe something you draw, maybe you write something really nice, maybe you handcraft something because you have a skill. People knit stuff. There's all kinds of different ways that people can express themselves creatively and give a really nice gift. You know, we get trained to think this and this about this, and it's not right. We got to understand that we got to deprogram ourselves from a lot of the bullshit that certain powers that be have like conditioned us to be like. And the holiday season's great, and yes, happy birthday to everybody celebrating a birthday this December. That's right, the end of the year. We're gonna be flipping that calendar soon. That's right. Stargate saying this. Okay, hang on. Man, I'm actually worse today than I was yesterday. All of a sudden this morning, Stargate saying no, they are not generational talents. Oh my God, we throw around that term way too easily nowadays. Nothing about those guys says Shaq or Tim Duncan or LeBron. Getting back to the point earlier about warning about a couple guys coming up in college. Yeah, I tend to agree with Stargate on this, that it's like too easily put on people. And, even Victor's struggling right now. And even though he should be a generational talent, he's not totally head and shoulders above everyone, even though physically he is. In some ways, he's not been the dominant force that Shaq was. In some ways, he's not been the dominant force that Tim Duncan was. In some ways, he's not the dominant force that LeBron James was. There's certain guys that came in the league and they were really having an impact. And sure, Victor's had an impact, but it's not the same. And it was so falsely advertised. And the same thing with Cooper Flag. I don't give a shit if he got 35 points last week. I don't care. There's probably some shitty team that he played, and it was just a certain matchup. These guys are getting this label too much, and I completely agree with Stargate. Nobody's generational until they come into the league and they do something like Giannis, and then all of a sudden we can say they're generational, okay? You got to give them at least 5-6 years, and they have to prove it, because they could have said Ben Simmons was generational, and that shit was not true. So I agree with Stargate on this. We're saying this too soon, and once again, it's earned, not given. You've got to earn it, and then we'll say it. And if you're trying to anoint people ahead of what they did and they didn't do it yet, don't do that, because there's been so many people that have been anointed generational and absolutely fell flat on their face and didn't do jack shit in the NBA. People like Zion Williamson and Ja Morant. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. See, we're saying Sunday the 7th is my C-Day created player. Laugh out loud. Your C-Day created player. That's when you were born on the C-Day. The C-Day, you're created a player day. Are you on the list? Let me see. I want to check. I don't have the birthdays up because nobody has a birthday today. I took it down. I checked. I looked, and nobody was on the spreadsheet for today. So there is no birthday for me to announce. But let me see. Seymour's probably on here. I want to make sure he's on here. Well, he probably is. Let's see. Yeah, you're on here, man. You're on here on the 7th. You have the birthday with Aaron Gray and Julian Stone, former Raptors. So, yeah, you're on here, Sheriff. I see you on here. Yep, you're on the list. We'll be talking about you on Sunday for your birthday. That's right. Let's see. Infamous saying, salute, freaks. Y'all need to stop making fun of dude. He's that way because of the death of his dad. It traumatized him. Shaking my head. You're talking about Kawhi? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'm not making fun of him for that. I definitely wouldn't make fun of him for that. It's fair, man. He went to San Diego State. Anyway, that's the only joke I'll make. But yeah, I don't like that happened. But also at the same time, what are you doing, man? Kawhi, what are you doing, bro? Come on, man. Let's see. Seymour saying this. Okay, I'm not an expert, just my opinion. And who's we? I said it. If I'm whoop-de wrong, whoop-de-doo. He's talking about us making fun of Kawhi, and we shouldn't make fun of him. And I get that. I get that, man. And that is a really traumatic experience and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know. I just wish his uncle wasn't running his life for him, man. Anyway, let me keep going. It was saying, dude saw his dad killed in front of him as a youngster. It was right in front of him. I know it was at a car wash, right? His dad ran a car wash. Yeah, all right, man. Now you're starting to make me feel bad. Still, there's something wrong here with Kawhi, not because of that, just the way he interacts with teams and how he's moving through his NBA career. Let's see. Seymour saying you experts need to join TSN and ESPN. I don't know. They don't seem to always have real experts. All right, let's keep going. Fiercely saying this. Lex giving a nice attribute to Kawhi in his talent, despite his like a girl who friend zones a guy and tells him he has a nice personality, but I mean, listen. All right, I won't bash Kawhi anymore. Just out of respect to Infamous, he's saying just leave him alone. And all right, I won't. I won't bash him anymore. You know, his lot in this whole thing is exactly what's happened with his career since he went to LA. That's the whole thing. You get what you get, is what Jack Armstrong said. Well, Steve Ballmer gets what he gets for manipulating things, and Kawhi does too for being greedy. And in some ways, there you go. There you go. That's it right there. Daddy Gates, Stargate saying this. Let's get a win tonight. Let's shut up these Debbie Downer chicken little fans. Funny how the Leafs are totally trashed this year. The Raptors are still 7 games over 500, yet after 2 losses, they act as if they have the Leafs record. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be fair ever. And in some ways, that's why we just got to be badasses, ignore the noise, and just concentrate on what we do. And that's it. And that's what that team is doing. And hopefully they got a really good day off yesterday. I know when they returned to Toronto, you know, the weather was pretty cold and there was a lot of snow. But I think it was pretty cold in New York when they were there on Sunday, too. Scotty wearing that big puffy orange jacket to both the games this weekend. Yeah. So they're back. I know it's freezing and it's been snowing outside here in Ontario. So hopefully they've got good rest day and they're going to come in refreshed for the game tonight at home. And because this road trip was not that far and not really changing time zones, I think the whole thing about coming back from a long road trip is not going to be a factor tonight because they have just been at home just last week. And they really just left for the weekend and went to North Carolina and New York real quick. So let's see. Fiercely saying this. Sorry, thanks. I meant to say Kawhi and Bomber, but built the wrong winning team. You know, in some ways, that's part of the reason why the players shouldn't be the GM. Because as much as Leonard wanted to build a team here in Toronto with Russell and Paul George, and well, he got Paul George on the Clippers, we saw how that worked out. He got Russell there eventually too. All right, let's see. Seymour saying this Sunday 9 p.m. Salt Nick nightclub and restaurant where the Raptors ate. I'm holding my your created day birthday party. Going to be lit. That's awesome, man. Well, I hope you have a fantastic party, and that's cool. See, Salt Lick. Yeah, I remember when they went to that restaurant in Calgary. That's right. I remember they're going to that same one. Very cool. Very cool. You keep misspelling. Sorry. No thanks. Okay. You keep misspelling. Seymour saying this. When players do bad, y'all say, see, I called it. He is awful. When they boom out, you say, I called it. I knew they would be good. ESPN, TSN experts. Laugh out loud. Well, I'm not seeing any of the college players until I scout them on this channel. And it's just my initial reaction. And in some ways, I'm wrong all the time, but I'm also right a lot of the time too. So I don't know. I'm not trying to be no ESPN or TSN expert. I'm just a Lex Raptor Freak expert. That's all, man. That's all. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, sir. Trucker Kaz is on the road again. It is a Tuesday morning. That's right. Fiercely saying this. Ooh, didn't know that about Kawhi. It happened in front of him. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, I think there was some talk about this. I don't know if they went over it on Open Gym. But yeah, I remember hearing the story about all this and stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's see. Bro, why you keep bringing up the Leafs? This is a Raptor pod. Well, in some ways it's valid because, often I don't watch TSN and Sportsnet at all, other than watching the games when they come on. I don't watch any of their programming, none of their sports news channel shows. So I miss out on just how much they dote on the Leafs. And I think Stargate's point is basically the Leafs are shitty and the Raptors don't get as much coverage still. They could be pivoting towards the Raptors and covering the Raptors more because they are a winning team and they are exciting to watch. And there's all kinds of stuff they could be talking about with the Raptors. But they give the bare minimum and they do as little as possible. Meanwhile, with the Leafs could win one game in the season so far, and they would overanalyze them for 20 minutes on these shows. And I think in some ways I stand with Stargate on this. It's like, when do the Raptors get a fair shot to get their fair ample time in this kind of way? It's been this way for 30 years. And in some ways, when will it happen? Like, how good do we have to be to get any overshadowing of the hockey team in this situation? You know, what kind of success with our success and them not having success will break this? I don't think it ever will, because they could be the worst team in the NHL. We could be the best team in the NBA. And the time allotted for these sports programs would be just what they are. And in some ways, a lot of people in Canada would be like, yeah, that's just how it is because hockey. Yeah. But, you know, I'm with Stargate. We kind of pay attention to this. We do. We do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Infamous is, let me see. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Isn't there a Leafs radio or something? Well, there probably is. I don't know. I don't know. Infamous saying, have you spoken about the 905 game yet? Yeah, I did. I went over it already. I went over this box score. I did my stars of the game already, unfortunately. If there's any specifics about the 905 you want to bring up, Infamous, go ahead. Put in the comments. I'll touch back with the 905 game last night. Seymour saying, my message of the day, why you wash your damn hands? Of course. Of course. The pandemics could happen again. So keep washing your hands. And I'm sick. It's like, look, you guys, all right, here's a public service announcement. I'm going to teach y'all something else here. You know, like, you know how a lot of sickness gets transfers from your hands to your mouth, and a lot from your phone and the devices. If you're touching a lot of devices and stuff, and then you're like putting your fingers in your hands and stuff, you're probably going to get sick a lot. Just so y'all know. That's the secret, man. Don't touch your face so much. The less you touch your face, the less sick you get, because a lot of the germs are on your hands, and that's how they get inside you. It's like some people just hold your hands like near your mouth all the time or stuff like this. That can actually not only make you more sick, it can also give you acne and give you all kinds of blemishes just because you're putting your hands against your face all the time. So yeah, wash your damn hands. Don't put your hands on your face and your phone all that much. Clean your phone, and yeah, just stop being gross. How about that? And in some ways, you won't get sick like Lex, you know, because I'm sick now. In some ways, that's how it happens. And speaking of being sick, straight goods on Canadian Goods, y'all. Yesterday, because I was sick, I went to the pharmacy, and we got a chain of pharmacies up here called PharmaSave. PharmaSave are independent pharmacies, and I got cotton swabs from them, and even Tums, calcium antacids. See, that PharmaSave is this logo, and they're across Canada, guys. They started over in Langley, BC, was where their national office is based, and they started in September of 1981. They've been around for 44 years, and they have 800 stores across Canada. Now, PharmaSave has a really good hierarchy of how they do their business model. It's self-governance, where there's no corporate oversight from the top. All the decisions are made by the owners of each individual PharmaSave in a group, and there's no like corporate over kind of bullshit. It's very local owners, local families, and they make a lot of the decisions as a regional board of directors. So the owners are served by themselves and the other owners, and not by a separate corporate entity. So that's a fantastic structure to their hierarchy. And in some ways, that's why you should support them, because they're straight up Canadian company, and they're also local for the owners. So PharmaSave, y'all. If you're not feeling well this holiday season, like Lex isn't right now, go to them, man. Don't go to Shoppers. Shoppers is Galen Weston. It's still Canadian, but it's still bullshit. Go to PharmaSave. PharmaSave's the local pharmacy, and you be helping out a small business and not a corporate business either. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, not feeling well, man. Oh, man, not feeling well. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying here. Stargate saying, Seymour, are you in your feelings? Because I disagree with you about the generational talent. Relax, man. We all family here. It's all good. In some ways, guys, don't take any comments back and forth personally. We'll just talk about them. We'll move on. I'm not trying to point out anybody for saying anything or this way or that way. I don't want to embarrass anybody, and I'm not going to say any of that. And in some ways, if something feels like it's directed at you, it's probably more directed at the idea, guys, than actually you personally. So just let it go. In some ways, it's not a personal attack. It's just differences in opinion. And in some ways also, it's the idea. It's not the person. Let's remember that. Let's remember that. That's right. All right, let's see. Your take is take. Your take is your take. All I can do is respect it. Okay, there you go. We're all family here. That's right. Disgraced. Your take is disgraced. What? Disgraced. What? I don't mean that. Wait. Anyway, right now I'm saying this, Lex. In my observation of the Raptors, they always seem to have trouble with players who are aggressively driving to the basket. We need someone like Kyle Lowry to get in the lane and take the charges. Well, we do have guys doing that. Jacoby likes to do that. Shed likes to do that. They're trying to do it. In some ways, Lowry built a level of respect and reputation for that move where he would get those calls regularly for it because they just knew he was going to do it. And in some ways, they didn't question him. It takes a little while for young players to get that reputation and respect over time, where the refs are kind of like, okay, yeah, Shed's like Lowry, and he can take the charges too. And Shed is building that right now. But yeah, you could see Jacoby jump in front of somebody and try and take a charge, and they're not necessarily respecting him yet. They give him the call. Grady, same thing. So it's a thing over time, and Kyle really got his built up like that. But these guys are trying. I've seen Grady jump in front of people too, trying to take charges. It's tough though when you get take the physical toll of it and you don't get the reward. It kind of makes you think about it next time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I mean? If it's saying, I think Sarr is improving. Do you think a call up is in the future? I still find his court processing a bit slow. Yeah, that's the problem right there. He's just not seeing things right. Like I see all kinds of opportunities for him, and with his size, he should be doing it better. And the other thing that's really, really scary and not good about him is he does not finish near the rim right. Like there's a lot of bunnies he's missing. Like there was a play the other day, not this game last night, but the last game before that, where he had a point blank dunk and nobody was near him and he managed to miss it. I was like, oh my gosh. Think like Bismack's bunnies from back before, but Biombo's bunnies, but like way worse. Like the dude was like going like this and he missed a dunk and nobody was near him. And I was like, how did he do that? There was even a shot last night where he point blank had it and he could not convert. And I'm like, why? How does he not make these? Anyway, that's just nitpicking. You know, in some ways, it's like who knows? I don't think he's the one who should get called up. It's Reese. Reese should be called up. Reese is the one because I think Sarr kind of got training camp. He got summer league, and I don't see it. The other thing about Olivier is he's not young. He's like 27. And if he didn't learn it by now, right? Is he ever going to learn it, right? It's stuff like that, man. Roger Raymond's here. Good morning, Roger Raymond. Good day, Raptor Freaks. Hope you feel better soon, Lex. Thank you. Yeah, I think I might take up the hotel on their hot tub this afternoon. Yeah, see if I can clear the passages a little bit. Just sit in a hot tub for a little while today in the middle of my workouts, and hopefully I can feel better, kind of clear things up. We'll have to see. Kaz is saying this: NBA G League has its own separate dunk contest. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Elijah should maybe do that. The AT&T Slam Dunk Contest, which takes place during the NBA All-Star Weekend and is distinct from the main All-Star Slam Dunk Contest. All right, Kaz is coming with the fact checking and giving me the information. They do have their own dunk contest, and it will happen during All-Star Weekend. And I think it's on the Friday night is when they do it. So, yeah, maybe Elijah should consider doing that. Notoriety is good. I'm telling you, publicity is good. Do this. 82 on the dunk charts forecast for information. All right, let's keep going. Baseman is here. Mischief, good morning to you, sir. This is the first time Ingram is playing in the Northeast. Ingram played in Los Angeles and New Orleans. He's probably not used to the cold yet in 28 years. I don't know if that's true. Because he's been in the NBA a long time and he's had to come up to this region and play games in the East before. But you're right. He was Western Conference. So maybe it's just like once a year he'd come to Toronto. Once a year he'd come to New York. Once a year. I don't know. And also, we want to say this once again. The weather in Toronto is not that much colder. It's like propaganda wars to make Canada sound colder in some ways. Parts of Canada are colder, but the Toronto, Ontario weather is better than a lot of the other Eastern teams in the NBA. And I don't know how much of a difference in weather they felt from coming from New York to Toronto from Sunday. Seriously. So I'm not going to buy this totally, Mischief, that this is any kind of issue for Brandon right now. The other reason why is because these NBA guys, it's not like they're out in the cold too much. They're jumping from car to car and they're staying warm because they're in a lot of different places where it'll keep them warm. And I hope that their apartments and houses and places they live are very warm. If they're outside running around trying to do stuff outside up here in Ontario, that's different. But hopefully they're doing indoor activities. It's probably better right now. Yeah, I don't know about this one, Mischief. Good to see you, man. Kaz saying this: the 2025 AT&T G League Slam Dunk Contest was won by Logan Johnson of the Oklahoma City Blue last year. Okay, I don't know who that is, but man, Elijah, you may be able to get notoriety better than Logan Johnson. That's right. Stargate saying Grady and Shed try to take charges the most. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. And also, Straight Goods on Canadian Goods is a great segment. Yeah. I mean, it's really important right now. I mean, it's the one I like doing. I used to do an advertisement for a cleaning company, and I'm so glad I don't do it anymore. So kind of my replacement segment is this. PharmaSave, y'all. Go and save some money. Go to PharmaSave. Local apothecaries. And you get local, support local, and it's not corporate. That's right. Yeah. Stargate saying Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Boston, and Chicago are all very cold cities too. New York also. So yeah, it's like when you say Toronto is colder or something, that's a bullshit. It's bullshit. You know, there's cities that are much colder on the other side. Cleveland's, you can add Cleveland to that too. That's right. Let's see. Fierce has got the Canadian flags out. I love it. Raptors Champs is here too. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Raptors Champs. All right, let me see. Let's go look at my tabs. I'm at a point in the show where I'm going to look at tabs real quick. They have an article out on ESPN right now that they're talking about how they're people that are early candidates for All-Star, and they do have Scotty and Brandon both listed on there as they're not locks, they're near locks is what they're calling, or no, they're not near locks, they're on the bubble. So this is what they said specifically. The cases for the best All-Star candidates in this group can be summarized in a single sentence. For instance, Barnes has been the best all-around player on the conference's third best team. That sounds like a good player that should be on the All-Star, and Ingram is their leading scorer. So, yeah, they have them both listed there. So the locks, the near locks, they say are Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren's no lock. I don't understand why you think Jalen Duren's a lock. Tyrese Maxey and Donovan Mitchell. And the guys they're saying that are on the bubble to make the rest of the team for the East, Bam Adebayo, Scotty Barnes, Josh Giddey, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Johnson, Evan Mobley, Norman Powell, and Franz Wagner are the names. They don't even have Paulo on here. That's good. They left Paulo out because I think he's been hurt. That's good. In the West, it's different. I won't even look at the West, but at least they're saying Scotty and Ingram are being considered for All-Star. That's the main point I wanted to get across with looking at that real quick. All right, let's go look at the Instagram stories. We'll start with Chris Boucher. He's gone into the fridge, or not him, but he's showing a clip where somebody goes in the fridge. And if you're living in a Caribbean house, nothing is ever what it seems. They grab the butter container and inside it's leftovers. It's not the butter. They're trying to get the butter, but it's something else in the butter container. I know about that too. Sometimes people are really fucking wicked. You could tell them every detail about your life and all the nooks and crannies, and then we'll take it. Yeah, then we'll take it. Flip it against you. Ooh, that's some words of wisdom. Then they got that comedian guy on here. I forget his name is Drew Ski or whatever. Yeah, he's had a weird like bald spot, and he's putting a hat on there. And then he's going to work at like Home Depot, and he takes the hat off, and his coworker sees his crazy ass bald head, something like that. I don't know what's going on there. It's some comedy, something. Norman Powell's got Cyber Week starting this week for Understand the Grind gear, 40% off entire orders right now, and celebrating the victory of Jamaica over Puerto Rico this week, 97-92. Canada, successful win over Bahamas yesterday. Team Canada and Kyle Whitmer and all those guys taking down Bahamas. Good job, Canada, and the qualifier. Kelly Olynyk is celebrating that win. 94-88 is the score, and he's very proud Canadian. Trey Bell Haynes, a big scorer for them, 17 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds in the AmeriCup FIBA stuff right now. So good job, Canada, qualifying with the secondary team, not the star guys, and taking care of business. Canada basketball is here to stay. We're going to kick some butt on the women's and men's. Elijah Martin has highlights played by a friend who's watching him and seeing him hoop it up for 30 points last night against the Long Island Nets. His friends saying, nice Euro step, Elijah Martin, because he had one on the score there. And yeah, lots of highlights of him. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 73% from the field. Elijah, good stuff. AJ Lawson putting up the score, even though he didn't play. You know, it's funny. You watch the Long Island Nets broadcast with their announcers, and they have like a highlight reel of showing clips. And AJ's on it because he was a net last year playing for them. So he's actually on their highlight reel. It's hilarious. Excuse me. Andrew Jones posting stuff from the game last night, the win, and then he's got his daughter Ava hooping, and that guy's a mismatch. He's too short for her. Yeah, she schooled him. She absolutely schooled him. Yeah, there she's automatic from up top for 3 too. Whoa, she is serious, man. She is serious. Grady Dick is watching Stranger Things last night, the brand new season, the last season of Stranger Things, season 5, streaming it with Carla. And Grady's got a Christmas tree up already, I can see at his place. Looks like a nice Christmas tree. It was like modest with the decorations. He's got some Christmas lights on the wall too. So Grady, he's getting the festive spirit and watching some Stranger Things. Our friend Alessandro, the Italian friend of Sandro Mamukelashvili, has moved on to Detroit. Man got on a bus in Union Station across the border to go visit another Italian friend of his that is around the Pistons. And now he is filming Pistons games for a little while in the last part of his trip. So he is at Little Caesars Arena. And we see Alessandro taking pictures of the 3 Larry O'Briens that Detroit has earned and won in their history as a franchise. And there's the 905 with the 8-0 record. Best start in franchise history. Mark out the 4, mark out the 6. It's 8-0 now. That's right. Toronto Tempo doing a media day pictures yesterday for their front office, getting headshots of all the important bigwigs like Monica Wright-Rogers and Sandy Brondello and Teresa Resch. So, yeah, that's good stuff. They were taking pictures and getting the Toronto Tempo pictures for their front office taken. Now they got to get players and take their pictures next. That's what I want to see next. Fred VanVleet working hard. I see him pushing something heavy and trying to get his leg back and get back in shape so he can return to the Rockets. There you go. Also, Fred is making fun of Fat Joe because they did a podcast, and Jadakiss reacted to Fat Joe messing up Fred VanVleet's name and calling him Fred Van Cleef. And Fred's not taking it. Fred's not taking it the wrong way. He's like Jadakiss holding it down, and Fat Joe Wyland is what he's saying. Fred Van Cleef. That's like a kung fu or ninja guy. Lee Van Cleef, who used to do the show The Ninja. That dude was cool, man. He was intense, man. He was also in all the spaghetti westerns. Sergio Leone with Clint Eastwood, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Lee Van Cleef. Fred Van Cleef. Oh, so stupid, man. So stupid. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got in the Instagram real quick. Yeah, that and that. Yeah, that. Colin Murray Boyles posting team photos, and he said he's in the clouds right now because he's just in dreamland because it's just the NBA dream is going on for him right now. Let's see. Jared Rodin's in France, and he's celebrating some dude there that is repping him. And Mobo has got some locker room antics. Yeah, we'll finish this up. There's nothing that interesting there. All right, there you go. There's your Instagram stories for today. Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on there. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying, tuning in late. We'll get back. We'll get RJ back soon enough. All right, should I go check? Is there any new news about RJ on Blue Skies from anybody? No, I don't see anything there right now. Hopefully, we'll get him back in time for the 9th. That's what I want. Kareem saying, if Grady doesn't get out his shooting slump, I think he can be the 2025 version of Charles Oakley, the enforcer. His triceps don't lie. Yeah, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. I think that Colin Murray Boyles and Julian Reese have a better shot at this. Yeah, I would say that. And Randolph saying, congratulations to Derrick Rose on his assistant coach to the Bulls hire. That's interesting. Okay, so they hired him to be assistant coach there. Yeah, did you see on Saturday in Charlotte on their bench, they had Kemba Walker sitting there as one of the assistant coaches for Charles Lee and the Hornets. That was interesting. So yeah, this makes sense. Derrick Rose is a very celebrated player. A lot of people like him, and he has knowledge. And well, he has an affinity for the city that he's from, that he played for, and got a lot of his accolades. He wants to work for them and Billy Donovan, so he will be on the bench for them. Okay, that's interesting. He went the coach's route. Went the coach's route. All right, let me see. Maybe we'll be wrapping up soon. Let me see what is else on my tabs. Raptors Reddit reactions. They're talking about Ryan Nebhard for the Mavericks on his two-way. They're saying that he is balling out and playing really, really well. The brother of Andrew has been playing well for the Mavericks recently. Scotty Barnes recently did a name change. He added an S to his name because of tissue. And it's crazy because they got the dog at the press conference with him in this advertisement. You know, that Scotty's dog is cute, man. It's a cute dog, and it's on the box too. But yeah, he's sitting there with Scotty. He gets to pet it. Of course, we know Scotty's a dog lover with Cardi and Cece. And well, Scotty, maybe you should go get a Scotty's dog too, like a third dog. And you can say, this is the Scotty's dog. He dapped the dog in the commercial. That's so cute, man. But yeah, it was inevitable. I figured he would do an ad with Scotty's at one point because it's Scotty's. Come on. Of course, he's going to be a spokesperson for that company. Of course, he's going to do it. There's somebody's talking about on Reddit. We're nearing the 10-year anniversary of this game. Where were you during this game 7, which was game 7 against the Indiana Pacers? And when we beat Paul George and them in the game 7 in Scotiabank Arena. And that's not the 10-year anniversary. That'll be like next spring because the playoffs are in the playoff season, not now. So you're a little early with this, Redditor. Maybe come back around with this like when it's playoffs next year, like at the end of the season. It's kind of a little early. Let's see. Somebody's saying on Reddit, RJ and Yak are more important than I realized. A lot of people are saying this right now. A lot of people are saying this. Let's see what else we got on here. If it's interesting, let me see. Is there anything else on here? Not anything. I don't know. I'm not gonna look at any more of this. This is not that interesting. All right, let me keep going in the tabs. What do I have next? All right, we might be doing the classic card now. Let's see. Mischief saying this: the top 3 scorers for Portland is Danny Avdija, 31 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists. Tumani Kamara, 19 points, 5 of 10 from 3, and Jeremy Grant, 18 points. Jeremy's off the bench too, so he's like the 3rd leading scorer for them off the bench. Stargate said, "I'm waiting for him to do a commercial for the Jamaican restaurant Scotty Bonds." Yeah, I think that he might do that. I don't know if he will though. I don't know. I think that company has gotten lift in their business. I know I ordered from them a little while because their name was Scotty Bonds. So they got business from me partly for that for a little while when I was downtown. So I don't know if they need to officially do it. I think people just get confused, right? Wayne saying this: morning, Raptor Freaks. Game day, back to winning ways. No need to panic. Opponents figuring our BI was inevitable. We recalibrate now. Yeah, adjustments. Pass out of the double team faster. Wayne showing up right near the end of the stream once again, just barely getting here. Kareem saying this: whatever happened to Scoot Henderson, he was number 2 pick. He was what I scouted. I called it the first time I saw him. I did not believe any of the hype. Everybody put on him, and I was just like laughing that they thought he was as good as Victor. And yeah, I didn't believe any of it. He was just some little short guy with big muscles who was like an athletic freak. And I'm like, that's not really an NBA body. Like in some ways, sure, there's been guys that look like him that have been successful in this league, but it's despite in some ways. And I never believed in him. I thought he was a fool's gold from the start. So he's exactly who I thought he would be this whole time. Everybody's saying, oh, why isn't Scoot better and stuff like that. I never thought he would be better. That's me personally. And I took my guesses on what he was going to be because he was on G League Ignite before he got drafted. And he came and played the 905 on G League Ignite, and he was absolute trash. And I was like, why is everybody talking about Scoot Henderson this, Scoot Henderson that? And he even got thrown out of the game for having a piss poor attitude in the game I saw him play against 905. So, yeah, I mean, whatever happened to him, well, he's exactly what I thought he was the whole time. And I never expected him to do anything. That's me personally right there. Nawaka is saying another winning streak starts today. That's what we want. That is what we want. That's for sure. All right, let's see what we get today. All right, cool, man. This is awesome. We got a good classic card today. Let me just make sure I got it right. Oh, wow. All right, guys. All right, this is pretty interesting. All right, full name answer right away, guys. All right, this is weird, man. All right, here we go. Let's see if you can see it. Full name answer. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that we got this card, honestly. Can you see the number? Yeah, that's crazy. Vince Carter's right, Fiercey. This is a Vince Carter card. I don't think I've ever gotten a Vince Carter card. It's a dunking Vince Carter card. And yeah, in a matchup against the Houston Rockets on March the 25th, 1999, Charles Oakley threw the long outlet pass to Carter for a 362-handed jam. Two of the rookie guards' season-high 32 points. Carter's long, frequent, spectacular dunks during the season reminded many of Michael Jordan. Wow. Yeah, it is Vince. It's totally Vince. It's hard to see his face. Like, I wasn't sure who it was either at first, but I was like, whoa, it's a Raptors jersey. We got a Raptors card. It was Vince Carter. So, Fiercey, do you want the 15 points? Because we had Scotty the other day and Isaac took 4. Because in some ways, it's kind of like, it's Vince Carter. Is it that hard? Seriously? It's not that hard. I don't know. I'll give you 50. I'll give you the regular 50. I should maybe give you 150 in symbolics of Vince. Because it was kind of hard. You know what? We'll do that. We'll do 150. She even guessed it kind of just blindly. 150 for Fiercey on the Vince Carter. So we got the 15. That's right. That's right. Charles Oakley threw the pass to the dunk, but he wasn't the one. Yeah, James put it VC, full name answer. Oliver Miller was who I thought it was at first when I looked at it, Kareem. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was Oliver at first. Yeah, the glare can mess you up. It really can. All right, let me wrap it up, and we'll get done in an hour and a half. There you go, 150 points for Fiercey on that one. All right, let's see. Once again, injuries for the Portland Trailblazers tonight. Dame Lillard is out. Drew Holiday is out. Blake Wesley is out. Scoot Henderson is out. Matisse Thybulle is out. Donovan Clingan is questionable, so he could be playing. I'm speculating that the Trailblazers will play Chris Murray, Shaden Sharp, Tamarani Kamara, Denny Avija, and Robert Williams III. So, yeah, the Raptors are missing RJ once again today. He is ruled out. He will not be playing. And I'm speculating that maybe our lineup will be Emmanuel Quickley. They've got Brandon Ingram slotted at shooting guard on ESPN's depth chart right now. That's weird. Maybe it'll be Emmanuel Quickley, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, and I'll guess Colin Murray-Boyles or Ochai Agbaji starting tonight. One of those two guys. I don't think Jacoby will start tonight. I think it'll either be Murray-Boyles or Ochai that end up getting the nod for this one. The referees for tonight's game in Toronto against the Trailblazers are James Capers Jr. He favors the Blazers. Carl Lane, he favors the Raptors. And Danielle Scott, who favors the Raptors also. All right, 905 won last night. Their 8th victory of the season, undefeated, 8-0. And my 5 stars of the game were Elijah Martin, Jonathan Mobo, Chucky Hepburn, Olivier Sarr, and David Roddy. Those are the 5 stars for the game. That's right. Thanks, Cass, for the W Stream, W Community. And Fiercely saying, let's go, Raptors, and payback, and get some payback time against the Trailblazers for a loss. I think it was 2 years ago we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost to them. And then last year we wanted to get the get back against them, but we still didn't beat them. So it's kind of annoying. We need to beat them. Watch out for Demi. He's playing at a high level, much better than with the Wizards. I know they have him on that list for All-Star in the Western Conference, but I don't believe that crap. The Portland Trailblazers are a bad team. They shouldn't have any All-Stars. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, that dude shouldn't be an all-star, honestly. All right, let's go, Raptors, and let's beat the Trailblazers tonight and get back on the winning side of things and start a new winning streak in December. In this 5-game homestand, let's win at least 3 of the games. If not more, I'll be happy. So, all right, y'all, thanks for watching me. I'll be back tomorrow with reaction stream to the Portland game tonight, and hopefully we get the win. And we'll be talking about good things tomorrow. For for the Raptors. All right, everybody have a great day. Raptorize your day like Nab Bhatia would. Touch grass. If you can find it under the snow, touch the grass. Like get outside, even if it's cold, just for a second, just to get fresh air. All right, y'all have a great day. I'm going to go to the hot tub next, all right? Or I got to work out, then go to the hot tub. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go.